Hey, what's going on everyone? It's Vosk. I'm here with Tales of the VoskCoin YouTube channel, and today I'm going to tell you about my craziest mining rig yet and how I'm going to make my money back in less than 3 months. The VoskCoin Tri-Miner. Why the Tri-Miner? Because it's going to mine 3 things simultaneously. It's going to be a CPU miner, and of course a GPU miner, and also a hard drive miner. So basically we're going to be tackling 3 mining objectives at once with the idea of creating an ultra efficient and ultra profitable mining rig. What I'm going to show you today is my initial concept, and this is again just a concept. Tri-mining is going to be a new thing that I'm going to try to tackle on a small to potentially large scale where I can create a concept that is truly scalable. For this, we're going to be using Windows. I know I'm always a Linux guy, but today we're going to Windows because quite honestly, I don't know how to implement this on Linux with the current Linux options available. The motherboard I'm using today has 6 PCIe slots, so it's expandable to at least 6 GPUs in the future if I should ever decide to do that. And the frame I'm using, unfortunately, I can only get 2 cards on there. I wanted to get 3, but I would have to make some adjustments to the frame. So at this point, I'm just going to run this rig with 2 GPUs. And in addition to that, the GPUs I'm using is going to be a 1080 Ti and a 1070 Ti. But with this build, this is a modular build. You can use any cards you'd like, you can afford. So if you want to put 2 cards on here, they can be any card and they will work. So don't ask that question because the answer is yes, you can use whatever card you'd like. And really it's just going to be about density though. So if you have a card that's more profitable, then it's going to be possibly a better choice there, which is why I'm showcasing the 1080 Ti, arguably the densest card minus the mythical VEGA we can't get anymore, and then also the 1070 Ti, which is in my opinion my favorite mining GPU currently. Most people understand GPU mining, so I'm not going to go too in depth about that, and my channel is basically all about GPU mining, so check it out if you haven't already. So then there's CPU mining. CPU mining is the same concept, but you're going to utilize your CPU to hash on those algorithms to earn you money. And I'm going to talk numbers, and I'm going to talk all about the calculators because so many people seem to just base their life around what to mine. So this rig build profitability calculations is going to be essentially based around what to mine because, I mean, apparently people think it's God sent, so let's look at it like the mining Bible. Now we have the third piece, which makes it the VoskCoin Tri-Miner, hard drive mining. I haven't made too many videos about this, but I tried to do it earlier this summer, or last summer, with poor results. Just wasn't happening on my old hardware, couldn't really get it done. But guess what? This Ryzen should make quick work of plotting these drives, and I'm also going to try GPU plotting. So basically what that means is we're going to mine VoskCoin, and VoskCoin you have to plot your hard drive. So basically you have to set them up for mining. That takes computer power, whether it's from your CPU or your GPU. And the Ryzen is a pretty powerful one. We're using the Ryzen 1700, not the X, but we're going to overclock it and hopefully get numbers like the 1700X. And that would make it one of the best bang for buck CPUs to mine with, possibly the best, depending how our results turn out. So I'm going to talk parts and then I'm going to talk profitability so this all ties in together. The motherboard, we're using an MSI AMD board. I found this to be one of the best bang for buck boards, but also very cool looking. And I mean, I'm down to spend $10 more to have a cool board that's also a good board. So it's got the 6 PCIe slots, it's got an M2 slot, which is how we're going to run our hard drive. I'm running an M2 hard drive. Specifically, I'm using the WD Black 250 gigabytes. However, if you want to just run like say this AData M2 drive for 50 bucks and it's got 128 gigabytes, that's going to be a more bang for buck miner. However, this is going to become possibly my new benchmark rig. So I wanted to splurge a little bit there and I spent like 100 bucks on that. So that was a personal choice, but you only need to spend $50 there. Keep that in mind. Then we've got the RAM, Crucial Ballistics. I use it in pretty much all my builds. This is the DDR4 of course, and it's 26.6, not the 2400 we normally use. Then CPU, already touched it, the Ryzen 1700. Comes with the stock rate LED cooler, which I'm really excited about because adding an additional cooler really jacks up your investment on the rig. The fact that this CPU comes with it, and I'm hoping to get the numbers of a 1700X, well, that's going to be exciting. For the hard drives, in the hard drive mining portion, I'm using the Seagate Barracuda 4 terabytes. There are more profitable, potentially better bang for buck external hard drives to use with this, which you'd use on a USB hub to link all those together. However, I wanted to maximize the internal hard drives I'm using, just the standard 3.5 inch HDDs and set them up because 1, it's gonna look cool, 2, it's condensed, 3, it's clean, 4, I wanted to do it, and 5, when I do that, I'm always gonna have the capabilities to expand to external drives later on. So I wanted to see what the internal drives could put out as far as numbers here. So I spent about $600 on those. And I also bought an additional case, totally optional, but it's this Coolermaster case, which you can see right here. One, by the way, this thing comes in a really nice box, but this drive is actually really cool. I've got tails on me, so I can't move too much. But you just, it's inserted with pressure, you just squeeze that, and it comes right out. It's mounted in here. The screws, you just kind of bend it, and then it snaps right in using the mounting holes for your HDD, which is super cool. It slides in. So I've got spots for 2 more drives in here, which I have over there, and that's gonna be exciting. How I'm gonna set this rig up is gonna vary. Today I'm using the VEGA 850 watt Platinum PSU. I'm a huge fan of these PSUs, I absolutely love them. 850 watt is gonna be plenty if I'm using 2 GPUs, which is all I can fit on this frame configuration. Again, for the GPUs, a 1080 Ti and a 1070 Ti. For them, it really doesn't matter. It's what you want to do and which one you like, but I personally got my 1070 Ti for 700 bucks, and I got my, or excuse me, I got my 1070 Ti for 450, and I got my 1080 Ti for 700. But again, buy the cards you can afford, and quite honestly, with the shortage of GPUs right now, any card's gonna be a good card, and realistically, all the cards are pretty similar on Equihash. That's the algorithm I study the heaviest, and they're honestly pretty similar. You spend more, tails come on, we're shooting a movie. Again, they're all gonna be pretty similar. A 1063 gigabyte, a 6 gigabyte, a 1070 Ti, a 1070, a 1080, a 1080 Ti, they're all good. Just don't overpay for the card and you're gonna be fine as far as ROI is concerned. The frame, it's actually a pretty cool frame. It's made to be an open air benchmark frame. It's by DIY PC. Alpha GT3 is the model name. It's an old frame. It's probably getting phased out. There's probably only a few that we can actually get. So if you actually really like this, I'd consider using our link below. 1, it supports the channel. 2, these aren't going to last very long because I doubt they're still in production. This is going to be a fun, cool project that's not always going to be able to be replicated if these frames become impossible to find. And I paid about 48 bucks shipped, I think, or 49 bucks or something off of Amazon for this, making it a pretty good deal. And it's one of these cheap China rigs, but it's like the nice cheap China, and you open it and, you know, like I said in the other video, it smells like China. And now I'm not that bad. I don't think I'm racist or something crazy. Just relax, YouTubers. And yeah, so it's as good as it gets for a China rig. You're gonna spend more time taking that freaking protective film off than you will actually putting it together. Maybe, it's kind of annoying. I took my time and I was on my phone. It took me about 2 hours to put together first time, which is kind of annoying. And you may be better off just building a little wood frame, but I'm kind of ranting. I need to get the point of this video. I'm gonna tell you the numbers that I spent investing in this rig, and then I'm gonna explain how we're gonna ROI on this in less than 3 months. Well, that's the goal at least. So here are the numbers. The CPU, roughly, these are all rough numbers, 280 bucks. M2 hard drive, I spent about 100 bucks. However, I would recommend just spending 50 bucks if you're going for maximum ROI, bang for buck. So 50 bucks there. 600 bucks on hard drives. And then I spent about 90 bucks on the RAM, about 50 bucks on the case, 700 bucks on a Ti, and 450 on a 1070 Ti. The 700 was for a 1080 Ti, and then an extra 30 bucks, I think, on the hard drive case by Coolermaster, and then I spent an extra 10 bucks. You probably have to spend about 10 bucks anyway to get the additional SATA cables you'll need to run this mini hard drive synced up to your motherboard. So about 10 bucks there. I got red ones because it's gonna be a cool black and red build. And then that comes out to $22.60, plus or minus 100 bucks if you find parts a little bit cheaper, or if you pay a little bit more. I would not hesitate to pay 2,400 bucks for this exact same build, and let me explain why. So let's talk the numbers. What are we gonna make? We're supposed to make $587.40 a month mining on a GPU. I took the second highest number of what to mine, and again, this could vary. This could be lower, and this could be higher, and this isn't factoring the fact that these coins are probably gonna raise in value. With this build, is going to be with the mindset of you're going to hold your coins for at least 3 months before you sell them, or at least 2 months if we can ROI in 2 months in that kind of time frame, which is really what I'm shooting for. Next up, we've got the hard drive earning minings. You're probably going to be surprised by this, and this is why I'm going to make a new segment to the channel about hard drive mining. With the recent rise in the burst price, this is pretty lucrative and I hope we don't miss the ship here, because I'm building a ship. I'm trying to jump on these waves. Let's ride them, cowabunga, dude. 183.59. So these drives are gonna ROI if burst goes up at all for the coins that I hold in 3 months. That's very impressive. 3 months. Okay. Obviously it's a calculation. Let's see if it's real. Subscribe, because I'm gonna let you know if it is or not. Next up, we get the CPU mining earnings. Again, I took the second one on profitability, $99.90 a month. That's really good. This CPU is gonna ROI in 3 months. If you can ROI your stuff in 3 months, that's a good figure. That's like what I shoot for. If I can make my money back in 3 months, I did a good job. Less, you're doing way too good of a job. More, it's okay. If you have to ROI in over 6 months, you may have overspent or took the wrong bets. So that comes out to $8.50 a month. Pretty freaking good earnings, honestly, as far as I'm concerned. That's like picking up a part-time job where you don't have to do anything. And you're like, well, how much does the power cost? You didn't factor that. Actually, I did factor that. Tails, come on. Goodbye, Tails. All right, so Tails being a little distracting today. So our estimated earnings are $850.89 minus the electric cost, which is a crazy low of $36. I pay about 10 to 10.5 cents per kilowatt hour. Kind of varies with all the BS charges my electric co-op puts on me. So say 10 cents, 10.5 cents, okay? About 36 bucks in electric. I estimated a little bit higher on electric. So $8.50 is what we're gonna make minus 36, and I'm gonna lower it even more to get a conservative-ish estimate on our earnings. So I'm gonna say we're gonna make $800 a month. $800, right? So that's gonna put us at an ROI in less than 3 months. This 2-card GPU mining rig with an HDD edition and CPU mining is gonna ROI in less than 3 months. That's kind of crazy. And if you think about this, with the GPU shortage, this might be a really good avenue if you want to expand your mining setup, or really if you just want to diversify your setup. Because I'm invested in CPUs, GPUs, and hard drives instead of just GPUs. So one day, if crypto crashes, we're all gonna be a giant GPU warehouse. Like, oh dude, you want a 1080 Ti? 50 bucks cash and it's yours. Because there's gonna be a lot of them. So the VoskCoin Tri-Miner is gonna be monitored. There are gonna be some days we're gonna have to use it for other kind of testings, and I'm gonna take those days off and not mine at all, and that's gonna go against my numbers. So if I had a 30-day month and I used it for testing for 3 days, I'm only gonna count 27 of those days, and I'm gonna calculate how many days it took me to ROI this rig, and really if I could just get it working as I want it to. Because a concept is one thing, but can I execute this? Can next week I show you that, hey, my miner is up and running, here's how I fully built it, oh, and it's making the numbers that I expected it to. There you guys have it, the VoskCoin Tri-Miner. Right now, a concept. Hopefully tomorrow, a profitable mining rig. So we'll see, but I wanted to get this out there and let you guys know. If you want to build your own and follow along with me, I think that'd be super cool and exciting. We could compare, you know, test numbers against each other and all that kind of stuff. Join the VoskCoin Facebook group or the VoskCoin Discord server. I'll have the links below. And we have all kinds of social media. Make sure to check them all out, but especially the Facebook group and the Discord, because it's a lot easier to interact with you guys. Oh shit, we could even set up a channel and just focus on this kind of mining rig style and see if we can maximize the bang for buck with it. So it's up to you guys, but it would be cool if you join, and make sure to subscribe to the VoskCoin YouTube channel. I'll see you next time.